Welcome back to the C Morning Show, everyone. We're almost at the halfway point of our program, which leads us to our first discussion of the day. We're going to talk about obesity. Obesity is a disease that affects those with excess body fat. It can affect anyone and is one of the more serious health problems that affects our world today.
Indeed. According to the WHO, over 1 billion people, composed of 650 million adults and 340 million teenagers and 39 million children, suffer from obesity worldwide. In 2025, the organization also estimated that approximately 167 million people are less healthy due to obesity.
That's right. However, did you know that there is a new class of obesity that is often found in older adults called sarcopenia obesity? What causes this condition and how does it differ from other obesity types?
Yes, let's find out the answer. And that is why we have here MMC Hospital Sports Medical Specialist, Dr. Maria Lestari, in the studio. Good morning, Dr. Maria.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So, Doctor, I think this is the first time. Paul, is this the first time you've heard of sarcopenic obesity?
Correct.
What is sarcopenic obesity?
Okay, actually, sarcopenic obesity is an unhealthy condition that can affect not just older people, but like the regular people, which is consists of the low muscle mass and also with high body fat. So it's not just like, oh, you're fat, but also you have to have low muscle mass. And the way that we know that we have low muscle mass and high body fats is using the body composition analysis.
Right.
Not just like the regular weight scale, because you will know.
The one with the points where you have to touch your hands and your feet and it'll just measure.
That is correct.
What is the ideal composition then for an average person?
So for example, for example, obesity is defined as if you have BMI, the body mass index, more than 25.
Okay.
Okay, but however, the low muscle mass is defined as if you see like in the body composition analyzer, they will have like the under, normal, and over. Yeah, it's a good thing if you have over muscle mass. It's a good thing.
I bet Paul has that.
In a couple spots.
But the bad thing if the scale like point you into the under. So definitely it's giving you the term of sarcopenia. So it's not just like in older adults, but the regular people in the around us can have that one too.
What causes sarcopenic obesity?
Okay, the first one, we can say like the obesity first is definitely due to the excess intake of calorie.
Okay.
So you just like
so same like other types of obesity.
Yes, correct. But the sarcopenia is like you know the terms that when you don't use it, you will lose it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one.
Doctor.
So that's why the sarcopenia is happens when you have a low physical activity, like a sedentary lifestyle, inactive behavior, like sitting all the time, sleeping all the time,
right,
or like texting all the time.
So this is you. So this is what you or the doctor term or the medical term is sarcopenic obesity, but skinny fat is also the more common term.
Yeah. It's just like the regular terms that we also hear like so many times, right?
That
like
we've heard
skinny
of,
fat,
right?
Or little fat women, little fat men.
Okay.
You know, they're little, but actually it's like inside they're full of fat.
Okay.
Yes,
so
correct.
apart from doing a body composition test, then how do we? Because to me, regular obesity is a lot easier to identify because you can see it. You look in the mirror. Hey, I'm getting. But you know, skinny fat, it's hard to tell because.
Correct.
We always like when I'm with my wife, we're always commenting like she's saying to herself, I feel like I need to exercise. I feel like I'm fat. I said, you don't look fat. She said, well, I'm skinny fat. And for me, in my eyes,
says that.
visually, because she, throughout 2 pregnancies, she didn't exercise much.
Right.
And she said, I can see it, but me personally, I can't. So how do we identify before we do a body composition test? Is there any way to tell?
Okay, it's actually a bit hard compared to the one that like the one with obesity.
Right.
Like if it's like the regular people, only we can see like with our own eyes. It's a bit hard. I can tell like I'm not sure whether they have like a low muscle mass or like a regular muscle mass. So definitely you should do the body composition analysis. That's the way to tell.
Okay.
So what happens if we allow ourselves to be skinny fat? What happens to our body? What happens to our health?
Okay, for example, I'll give you like some kind of like analogy. Have you seen like the older people that like a hunch all the time, and then like curved back, that kind of thing, and compare it with the master athlete who do like a marathon. That's why it come again to the terms. If you're not using it, you're gonna lose it.
Okay.
So that's why you have to exercise.
Okay.
If you lose muscle, what happens to a human body when you lose your muscle?
Oh, it's gonna be like easily to fall because muscle is
that's
keep
not
us
good.
to like stabilize, to walk, to run, right?
Yeah.
And just like to going up from sitting to standing, we need muscle to do that. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why like in older people, the very first risk factor if they have like a sarcopenia is easily to fall.
Yeah, which is very dangerous.
True.
Yeah. Sometimes we heard like, oh, yeah, she's fall in the bathroom,
Yes,
that kind of thing.
that often happens
Right.
to
Yes,
older
correct.
people.
So, what's happening here? Are basically people who don't use their muscles, they're losing their muscles.
Correct.
There's only a certain threshold, right? I mean, we do all have a certain amount of muscle.
Yes,
Some a lot less than others. But how do we retain this? Like, can we get it back if we don't maintain it for years? Somebody figures out that, hey, I'm actually skinny fat. Like, can they reverse that process? Are they able to
Definitely.
build up that muscle again?
The good news is, yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah. The good news is that because
How?
it's reversible.
Right.
So it takes time to be like a sarcopenic and obesity, right? It takes time. So in the terms like we have to reverse it around, so we have to do like a certain amount of exercise and eat a good food. It's very basic, again, basic healthy lifestyle again. Eat a nutritious food and also doing some exercise. Do the resistance training, especially for sarcopenia, because
So weight training would be good.
Yes,
any sort of
correct.
resistance training.
yes, resistance training and weight training is really good for our muscle, and cardio is good for like just releasing extra amount of calories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody doesn't have access, because not all of us have access to a body composition scale. There are some if you go to the gym. What should the target be? Because a lot of people use body weight as a target. For example, if you're trying to build muscle, you want to probably gain a couple kilos.
Yeah.
If you're trying to slim down, you watch that scale. If it goes down, it's a little bit of an indicator. If somebody is skinny fat, how do they track that with weight? Are they trying to keep the weight the same? If they gain, is that a sign of muscle gain? Or are they actually trying to lose because they're technically still obese?
Yes.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get your point. I think the very one indicator that we can use very easily is perhaps the waist circumference.
Okay.
Okay, if we don't have anything,
Yes.
because the maximum waist circumference for the ladies is, according to WHO, is 80. Under 80 is really good.
Okay.
Under 80.
You're like at about 40.
And 90 is for the men.
90, okay.
Yeah, the minimum.
So that's minimum.
No, I mean the maximum.
Maximum.
The
Okay, you don't wanna-
can
yeah,
get.
okay,
Yeah, you
correct.
don't want to
Yeah,
go
Paul, you're
over that.
70.
There's no minimum.
There's no minimum.
Okay, so I see. So the eye test works, I guess.
Yeah,
Because you can always see.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm a little bit more toned. Then that's a good sign, right?
Yes. I think other than that, it's a bit tricky though if we only have the normal weight scale, but you can have it like right now it's quite very cheap. Like you can have it like under 500,000 in e-commerce right now.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, you can
There's
have it.
home ones where
Yeah, the
you
home
don't-
one.
it's not
Yes.
as accurate, but it's good to track progress, right?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think I should mention that as well, because I have one at the gym that's more accurate, but at home, I use one that the points of contact are only your feet.
Yeah, only
Right,
your
right.
So they're less
Correct.
accurate, but it will give you, if you use the same machine or the same tool every day, then at least it gives you that consistency of tracking so you
Yes,
can tell.
correct.
So
Yeah.
you don't go by the number, but how it's progressing.
Yeah.
Is your BMI going down?
Oh,
or it's
that's
going up?
great.
So, considering this is a muscle problem, it's less of a fat problem, it's more of a muscle problem.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit of nutrition, because I do know you need protein to build muscle.
Correct.
Does that apply for this as well, sarcopenia?
Yes, true. This is applied for the sarcopenia as well, because sometimes for us, especially in culture, like Indonesian culture, they tend to eat carbohydrate more compared to the protein.
Carb on carb, rice with
rice noodles,
rice noodles and glass
potatoes,
noodles. Yes.
and then a little bit of meat.
Exactly.
And also the fats, like
Yes.
the crispy food, like the fried food, it's easily to find compared to the protein itself.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I always tell it to my patient, if you cannot have it like the food that you can find just using whey. Whey protein, it's
as a
okay.
supplement as
yes,
well.
Yes, as a supplement.
Okay. So you want to go high protein, low fats, low carb.
Yeah, I will go the high protein and low calorie because for the obesity itself, we need to decrease our calories.
Which would be what, doctor? High protein, low calorie.
Yeah, high protein, low calorie.
Like maybe chicken breast, but not fried.
Correct.
Or
like
maybe
a grilled
fish.
chicken breast
Okay.
or fish, like a salmon, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think when we talk calorie deficit, we look at like the whole day, correct?
Yes,
like
correct.
as more instead of just one meal and trying to count how many calories is in this piece of meat I'm eating. Just approximate how much you're having per day.
Yeah.
What's the average for somebody who is has sarcopenic obesity? What's the target calorie approximately they should be trying to keep?
Okay, I think it just depends on like the activity itself
True.
and the age and the gender.
Okay.
And in the internet, they have the name is TDEE calculator. So it's
Okay.
very easy to just like put it, the gender, put it.
You put in your data.
Yeah, put it your data, and then it will like automatically calculate for yourself. Like, oh, this is okay. For example, 2,000. Oh, that's why I need to lower my calories. Oh, if you want to increase my weight, so I need like a 2,200. That's for example. It just depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the person itself.
Kind of like
Yeah.
what you do already. Like for example, you decided to have breakfast today.
Yeah.
Then you kind of already, you're not you're only going to have
It's
something
really
light
true.
later on. So
Yeah.
you just running, even though you don't have a number, you're kind of already knowing.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel, I don't know if this is right or not, doctor, I do feel that if we're aware of our body and, aware of the kind of nutritions that we put into our body, even without looking at, like all these tools, all these wonderful tools that we have right now, your body sort of has its own sensor.
Correct.
Hey!
Most of us just don't listen to our body signals.
For me, for example, like if I eat like a too much like the fried food, like too oily, I will have like a stomachache and gassy, and sometimes I can like throw up if it's like too oily, that kind of thing. So I think it's just the way your body tells you
Body's
something.
telling you like enough
Enough
this
of
greasy
that.
stuff.
Yes, exactly. So what kind of exercise other than weight training? For example, I do Pilates and yoga. Is that enough to build muscles?
I think it's a good start for
Right.
you. Okay, I think it's just depends how your body composition is. When is the last time that you've done it?
Pilates?
No, the body composition.
Oh
check.
gosh, doctor, it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, you should check.
Do it again,
Yeah,
okay.
you should do it again. So, in terms of that, you have your own baseline, right? Because everybody has their own baseline and it's different.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good terms like if you repeat it like once a month. Yeah.
I need to go to your gym, Paul. That's what I need to do.
Even before I went to this gym, there are places you can go and then you can just pay to have it done at one time. And
Really?
for me, I do it anywhere between 2 weeks or a month at a time. And again, it's just actually that leads me to my next question. In regards to fat, there's different types of fat, obviously.
Yes, correct.
There's white fat and brown fat.
What's that, Paul?
For lack of a better term, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that the brown fat is the stuff that you can see, right? That makes you look like you're obese.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the white fat is the more dangerous. Is that the visceral fat? Can you
The
explain that a
visceral
little bit?
fat. Yeah, visceral fat is the thing that like surrounding your tummy inside and the organ too.
Oh,
Stuff you can't
that
see.
one.
Yeah, inside, it's tough inside. So that's why with the body composition analysis, you will know how much your visceral fat is.
Yeah. So you'll know how much visceral fat you have and how much regular fat you have.
Yeah.
And it's the visceral fat for me even. I may look like I'm in shape or I look lean enough. However, I know when my visceral fat is higher, and I can already guess. It's from not getting enough rest. Your visceral fat can go up, and then I end up doing it, and I turn out to be right because I can feel the signals and I already know. But not everyone does, right?
Yes.
Right, so you do need to like check, at least like Doc said, where your baseline is, so you know.
Right.
I just track it my progress.
Okay.
So I feel like it's going up. It's just a confirmation, like, okay, I got to get more rest.
Okay.
Because I can see that obviously it's true. My visceral fat is going up. So speaking of your body signals, is there any signals that one would have to look for or will be able to lead them to think that they may be sarcopenic obese?
Okay, I think in terms of whether they have to be aware they are in the sedentary behavior.
Okay.
Yes,
You
yes.
just have to know that you don't
have
get enough
to
activity.
realize
A lot of
that.
city people are like that. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
like
working
more
at
than
the office.
5 hours sitting.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really, Doc?
Yeah, more than 5 hours sitting.
But that's a lot of people. That's like people that work in the office.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah. And then I think they should like honest to themselves.
Yeah.
That like oh no, I'm sitting all the time. I don't do exercise.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of like high calorie food, so probably I might in risk. Yes.
Okay. So it's a self-awareness thing.
Yes.
You need to be self-aware because your eyes might trick you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good thing they have like I mean, you guys bring up this kind of like topic because not everyone like aware of this term, like the sarcopenic obesity.
I was not even aware until today, Doc.
Yeah, because a lot of people are just aware about the obesity itself, but
Yeah.
not the sarcopenic. So again, you're gonna lose it if
Yes.
you don't use it.
Yes.
Okay.
Glad we brought it up because I had a lot of friends out there. It's like, oh, I don't need to work out. I'm skinny enough. But it's not the right
it's
type of
not a-
skinny, and you
yeah.
can explain it, right?
And it's
like,
not
I
even-
don't want to be big and muscular. No, that's not the point. You want to be healthy. Right?
Yes, correct.
Exactly. Well,
Because the more muscle you have, the more you will burn calories.
Correct.
And the more muscle you have, it will bring you, until the older age, and you will be stable, you will be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't get osteoporosis
Yes.
early,
And
especially for
for
women.
women, yes.
And one indirect impact that exercise will have is that you'll want to be more aware of what you eat. Because when people who exercise tend to start thinking about what they eat more. Than as opposed to that you don't exercise.
That is correct. I need to build my muscles again. I've been.
And the
Yes.
other issue is when we reach around 35 of our age, our muscles start to decline.
Paul, you and I.
I
Hello.
already knew this for about 10 years ago. When it started happening to me.
Right.
Like at 1%
Every
each
year,
year.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
So you
Go
know how
back
you
to
fight that?
Yeah.
You try to build or maintain as much as you can so that 1% is only a small bit. And then next year, you can kind of keep it almost the same as last year. You only lose the same 1%. That's
Well,
the
thank
trick.
you so much, Dr. Maria, for sharing.
Yes,
so
thank you
much.
for being here.
Yeah.
So much. It's my pleasure.
Oh.